there is a list of 100 plus billionaire books in your workbook. I would encourage you to read those. The reality is that most people aren't going to do that, or they don't know where to start. And so we just created this quick slide. If you have a next gen family member and you'd love for them to be reading these as well, these first two, How to Win and Shut Up and Listen, are very short, concise books, but they're really powerful. So those are great to start with. And then the yellow book at the bottom there, the Warren Buffett book of shareholder annual letters, you can find on Amazon. That's not on Audible. That's the one I referenced earlier today. Part of the reason I show this, though, is that it's interesting when studying billionaires that one of the top three commonalities is that they're voracious learners. It makes you just want to study more billionaires because you know that that's part of how they became successful. It's kind of like virtuously, self-circle reinforcing itself. And what's interesting is that when Bill Gates was asked if you could have any superpower in the world, what would it be? His answer was to read faster, which is pretty much the nerdiest answer you could give to that question, right? But he basically just wants to consume. If somebody spent 30 years of their life on something, and then they spent, 100 hours putting it into a book, even if somebody interviewed them and ghost wrote it for them, why would you not want to read that book? And Warren Buffett had his activities designed by Charles Munger in part, and he has just 6 or 7 activities he spends his time on. And one of those 7 is to write an annual shareholder letter and spend a lot of time doing that. Like, why would you not read that content, right? And most of us are reading content for people that aren't as successful. So it's just to mine one quote from Dan Sullivan is that there's 2 types of knowledge in the world: worthless knowledge and specialized knowledge. So what's more important, to have the latest update on what the news is saying about who's going to be running for president, or to study investment structures and understand different share classes in an LLC? Like, what you put into your brain changes the output. It changes what happens in your life. It changes how you feel, just the tone and the slant of the content you're absorbing. So that's really important, and it's critical. It comes up again and again. And I find that that's one of the reasons why investors like coming to the events, is to connect with peers. And when they hear from 100 people on stage over 3 days at an investment event, you get a feel for how are people dealing with high interest rates? How much have real estate prices adjusted? You get a feel for what's trending in the industry and what do people want, but also how to structure deals better. And you can pick people's brain, like, hey, how'd you structure that credit note? How'd you structure that collateral that was behind the deal, et cetera. So I encourage you to keep that in mind as we move throughout the day today through the content.
Join the Family Office Club by visiting familyoffices.com. We look forward to seeing you at our next live event.